Hello, Middle Georgia. Graham Slater for Dublin Ford. I'd like to invite you in to take a look at all of our pre-owned cars and trucks. We sell a lot of new cars and trucks and therefore get a lot of good trade-ins. Each used car is thoroughly inspected by Dublin Ford certified technicians, so you can buy with confidence from the dealer that's selling new and used automobiles to families all over Middle Georgia for generations. We pride ourselves in professional sales and service. Dublin Ford Lincoln. Call us or come see us or log on to dublinford.net today. Remember, others call you customer, we call you friend.
Hi everyone, we'd like to welcome you to Real Talk. I'm your host, Pat Terrio. Have you ever been driving on the interstate and see probably 10, 15, 18-wheelers just blowing by you? Well, we're out here at the Oconee Fall Line Technical College with the Dean here of Trade, Industry, and Transportation, Mr. Roy Williams, and he's going to talk to us a little bit today about just what goes into getting these truck drivers on the road. How are you doing, Dean?
I'm doing great.
Now listen, we're out here, and from the back we already see a student driver already going through.
That's correct. He has actually taken his test. If he passes his test, which I hope he will, he'll have to go on the highway after he leaves here.
You said, I hope he will.
I hope he will, yeah. But he will be able, we'll give him an envelope. We have our own license examiners here. We don't give the written part of the test, but we give the actual road test.
So the road test takes place right here?
Right. You go to school here, you take your test here.
And what's the process that goes into actually getting from point A to point B?
Well, the first process is you have to apply to school and go through the admissions process. Classes are 10 weeks long, and they're basically three parts to the class. We have the first part is classroom strictly. You'd be surprised how much classroom you have to do to drive a truck. There's a lot of rules and regulations and a lot to know.
Right.
And then you have to go to the Department of Driver Service to take a written test. We don't do that here.
Okay.
So they take the written test and get a learner's permit. You have to get a learner's permit for a truck just like you do when you're 15 to drive a car. And after they get that permit, they work out here where we are on the range. They learn to back and inspect the truck, hook up trailers, unhook trailers. And after they get a little comfortable with that, then we take them on the highway.
Take them on the highway. And so what he's doing right now, it looks like he did a little parallel parking.
That's exactly what he's doing. That's he has to put that truck and trailer in a parallel parking space within boundaries in a space that's only 10 feet longer than the truck and trailer.
Now, Mr. Williams, you know, parallel parking is hard in a small vehicle. You're talking about, what, 56 feet?
Some of them are as much as 70 feet. So we got one sitting over there, it's almost 70 feet long.
70 feet long.
Yeah.
And so by the time they finish this whole process, they are ready to get on the road.
Yeah, they actually need a little more training. Most companies, they call them, finishing drivers?
Right.
They'll put them in a truck with a seasoned driver, normally for about 6 weeks. And then after that, depending on the recommendation of their trainer, they call them trainers, they'll give them their own truck.
Now, speaking of seasoned drivers, now, you're a seasoned driver yourself.
I am.
Tell us a little bit about that.
I grew up in the trucking industry. I drove over the road myself for 13 years. I've got about 1.5 million miles.
Wow.
And I drove over the road. I enjoy driving over the road. You know, trucking is, if you can think of a segment of business, we've got it. You know, there's drivers that stay gone a month or two at a time. Some guys go home every night. And everything in between, you know. But I enjoy being over the road. It's you have to be self-motivated. You have to be time conscious, responsible.
Right.
Because there's nobody looking over your shoulder. I mean, there's a lot of checks and balances, but it falls on the driver to make sure. Bottom line, when that truck is moving down the highway, whatever happens is the driver's responsibility.
Right.
One thing that I like to ask students is sort of a little challenge question, and I'll do the same with you. If you look around this yard,
right,
what you're wearing, what you have in your hand,
yes,
find me anything, except for the grass that's growing, that hasn't been on a truck at some point.
That's true. Because, I mean, people I don't think realize just how important the trucking industry is for what you transport.
If you got it, a truck brought it. One perfect example, and it's a simple thing. If you take a bottle of salad dressing and look at, say, Thousand Island, look at every single ingredient in that dressing,
right,
including the labels, including the bottle and the cap and the ink. Every component has been on a truck at some point until they finish the product, and then it gets put on the truck to go somewhere.
And so that's part of our everyday life.
Probably one salad dressing bottle has probably had 100 trucks involved in it.
Wow. And I don't think people realize it. I think even me myself, it's like I don't even think about that kind of stuff. Like just in day-to-day life, you don't even think about it.
Right. Well, and I think there's a misconception because trucks are so big.
Right.
But I myself learned, I went through a Norfolk Southern Railroad has a program they call Operation Lifesaver that teaches rail safety. And one thing that struck me in that training that I took that you don't think about, you see this behemoth, this huge train.
Right.
There are people in there.
Yeah.
You see these trucks going down the road, there's people in there.
Right.
And they're good people, and they're not out there trying to just crush the little cars and things. Right. They're just
You're dispelling all those myths that other people are thinking not to crush little cars.
Yeah.
Got it.
That's not. Trust me, I've known a lot of drivers over the years. I've been in this business for 40 plus years. I've known good ones and I've known bad ones, but I've not met one yet that took any pride in hurting anybody or tearing anybody's property up.
Absolutely.
So, when you're driving, give them a break. They can't stop or move as quick as you can. Just because they got 18 wheels don't mean they can stop 18 times as fast as you can.
That's absolutely right.
You got a truck pulling a trailer with a load on the trailer.
How heavy is that? I mean, just an estimate because...
Well, the legal limit is 80,000 pounds. So the average load, 45,000 or so. Depending on the weight of your tractor and trailer, it's up to 48. And you've got a product sitting in your trailer.
Right.
That weighs more than your truck and trailer. So when you get it moving at 70 miles an hour, it will push your truck and trailer. So you can't stop quick. And that's one thing that we teach students. And another thing is when you see a tank, that stuff in that tank moves around. And it's heavier than the truck and trailer. So it's a good occupation. There's a huge demand for it. The trucking companies in the United States, believe it or not, there's almost 500,000 trucking companies in the United States, and I'm talking from the guy with one truck to the company with 14,000.
Right.
And so that's a huge demand for drivers right there. And I think today, last estimate I saw, and I think I'm right, don't hold me to it, but I think there's like a shortage of 144,000 drivers right now in the country.
So we need more drivers.
We need more drivers. Need qualified drivers.
Correct.
And we'd like for them all to go to school.
Because it looks here that you do practice safety. I mean, that's first. That's
safety first in every program we have. That's number one. And every instructor that we have has truck driving experience. I don't hire instructors who don't know what it is.
Right.
You can't teach somebody about something if you don't know about it. I like to say I've had somebody out there that's been scared a time or two.
Yeah.
When I drove, I scared myself at least once a day.
Right.
And it was a good day if it was only once.
Right.
So, but there's a huge demand, and we have companies every day calling us wanting to come visit our students, and they do. As a matter of fact, in October, we're putting together a job fair just for our students and, the community to be welcome too. And we're just going to have trucking companies who recruit our students, and we're going to have it and bring them in there and give all of our students a chance to talk to them.
Okay.
I would venture to say if a student passes this class, just about every one of them goes out of here with a job if they want it.
Right. Excellent. So Oconee Fall Line, you're definitely doing some wonderful things, and you got great training to get men and women prepared to get out there on the roads.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I really want to speak to some truck drivers, and I want to get in one of those trucks.
We can arrange that.
Go for a ride?
We can do that.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we'll do that in just a moment.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Thank you.
All right, we're here with Mr. Randy O'Neill, who's a truck driver. How you doing, Mr. O'Neill?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well. Now, we've got your truck back here in the backdrop.
Yes.
And you're on the road about every day?
Every day.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself, and then kind of let's get into what your job entails in driving.
I'm from Dublin, Georgia. I've been here most of my life. I was in the military for 3.5 years. After I came out of the military, I came into a welding program. The welding program didn't work out for me that well, so I decided to jump in a truck. I've been driving trucks now for off and on between 13, 14 years.
13, 14 years.
So the container business is pretty decent for me, but I was over the road for a while. I don't like being out 3 or 4 months at a time.
So you'd be gone away from your family for 3 and 4 months.
Well, I never did do that. The longest I ever stayed out, honestly, the longest I ever stayed out was 12 days. And those 12 days was ruthless to me. And I decided that's not what I wanted to do. If I was going to stay in the trucking business, I wanted to be home at least every weekend or every other day, something like that. So me not being away from my family, I didn't want that.
Right. All right. So tell us what you do now as far as like you have a certain rotation that you go.
The company that I'm leased on with now, what we do is we go from Savannah to the Georgia Port Authority. We take a box from, when I say box, a container from the Georgia Port Authority, and we take it throughout the United States, mostly Georgia area for me. So I go from Georgia, from Savannah, Georgia, to Canton, Georgia, and back to Savannah, Georgia.
So you do that every day?
Every day.
And how many miles is that total?
A round trip about 610 miles.
A day?
A day.
But you still get to go home every night?
Oh, yeah. We're only allowed to drive for 11 hours, and it's only about 10 and a half hours round trip.
Okay, so that's not bad.
No.
Do you enjoy what you're doing?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And yes. So we want to look inside these trucks because I actually want to go for a ride in one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been inside an 18-wheeler.
Okay.
Can a girl dream?
Yeah. If you drive it for 10 hours, you don't want to
get back in one.
You want to get back in it. Yeah, but sure, yeah.
All right, so I'll let you open that up.
Okay.
Oh, cool. My legs are short. I've got a pretty short leg, so.
So what you do, you grab here.
Oh, you grab here?
Yeah, grab here first.
Is this the gas tank right here?
That's the fuel tank.
How many gallons is that?
That's an 90-gallon tank.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Oh, my gosh. This is a lot bigger than my Tahoe, you know.
Yeah, a little bit.
And you're in here for 11 hours, almost 11 hours a day?
Yeah.
Where's the horn thing that they usually bring? This is it. I just pulled it. Oh. That's awesome. Thanks. Wow. So now there's a bed back there. I noticed you had a bed back there. Do you ever have to like take naps or do overnights?
For what I do is for emergencies only. If I get tired, sleepy or whatever, I'll pull over. Instead of me trying to drive and try to make the destination. Only thing I'm doing is going to Savannah anyway, and then I'm coming home. So if I feel like I need to take a nap or something, I get back there and take a nap. But I'm coming home, so it really don't matter.
Driving sleepy?
No, I don't do that. I've been doing this long enough to know better.
With you being a driver, do you have some type of relationship with other drivers?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. You can't do this without having other drivers on your team. You got to know somebody know more than you do. So, even if he just started in school, like the guy Mr. Williams was talking about, they got more. They coming up with different rules every day. So you can find a younger driver that can tell me something that I don't know, even if I've been driving as long as I have been. But
do you have to go back for continued training? Like, do you have to take any more tests after you've been driving for so long?
They have different regulations. A book. They'll give you a book every year with the company that you're leased on to. They'll give you a book about any regulations that we have changed, or they'll have a safety meetings and tell us, well, the DOT is coming out with this and DOT is coming out for that, and then we'll know from there. But it's nothing we don't really know. We already know about it, but they might change it a little bit. Last year, a couple of years ago, it was 8 hours driving time. Now it's 11 hours driving time.
Right.
So, it's different things changes every year.
And that's a safety measure.
Yeah.
That's a safety measure. And so with you driving, and Mr. Williams said there's a shortage of drivers, that you need more drivers out there on the road.
Yeah. I don't know that. You know what I mean? Mr. Williams, man.
He's the dean. He's the dean.
He knows.
So he should definitely know that. All right, well, I'm getting ready to go for a little ride.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. With Mr. Dean?
We'll find out.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Mr. Williams. Now, look, there's a nice piece of machinery back here, Mr. Williams.
It is.
Tell us about this.
This truck you see behind us here is not a showpiece. Mm-hmm. It's a truck that our students have been driving today. They drive this truck. This is part of their class. We have this is a 53-foot trailer. Mm-hmm. This tractor came from a company that you see every day. So basically, my theory is I like to train students on what they're going to work on.
Right.
And the company that we bought this truck from is still running about 7,000 of them like this. Mm-hmm. So.
And so with this truck, okay, so this is the truck that they train with. And though I want to go for a little test drive.
Okay.
So you're going to show us now. Talk us into what we're getting ready to do.
How far do you want to go?
I just want to ride in an 18-wheeler. I've never been in one before.
Well, I mean, you want to go down the road and come back?
We don't. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. We're in. This is pretty spacious. Probably more spacious than I thought.
It's not very spacious after about a week or two.
I want to ask you, like, how many females do you have in your program?
Probably 25%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have a fair number of females.
Okay.
And they do very well.
This is a stick shift.
Yeah, we don't have any automatic.
Okay.
This is 10 speed.
A 10-speed?
So you go through your gears and you pull that button up and you go through them again.
Wow. Okay. Now sometimes, like when you're on the road, you just see the 18-wheelers just going so fast, and I think that I remember in college how I get so nervous when I'd see an 18-wheeler on the road, and I just would almost stop, I think, to just kind of give you the right of way to go past.
Well, one thing you can do when you see a truck coming up behind you,
yes,
best thing you can do is maintain your speed. Don't try to help it.
Don't try to brake.
Don't help it. No.
Because, like you said, it's so heavy that it's difficult for you to even.
Well, and another thing too, when they're heavy, it's not like a car. You can't just step down and accelerate and go ahead. Sometimes you got to catch it when you can build your speed up. And he may be trying to build his speed up and have enough to get by you safely. Mm-hmm. And if you slow down to help him, you broke his speed, then he's got to start over again.
And I've noticed, like in mountainous areas, like when I was driving through Tennessee, I would see the trucks would definitely have to put it in a certain kind of gear. I remember that.
Yeah, because they're heavy. You got to pull the load uphill.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, how many driving hours does a student need to have before they can actually get on the road?
They have to keep throughout the class, during the course of the class, they have to have 44 hours behind the wheel. Mm-hmm. And the class is 220 contact hours.
220 contact hours. So how long roughly does it take to actually finish the course?
10 weeks.
10 weeks.
I was at a conference this weekend, and there was a company there that will hire student drivers, and they guarantee them $50,000 first year.
Mr. Williams, give us some other safety precautions that we need to take concerning truck drivers.
The number one rule is give them room.
Give them room. And I usually try to be a very courteous driver like that when it comes to that. But I've noticed there's some truck drivers who are bullies on the road.
There are some, yes. They're in the minority though.
Okay.
I say, you see a truck crash. We hate to see that, but a truck crash is like an airplane crash. You don't see them very often, but when you do, they're spectacular.
Right.
The driver does not want to hurt you, and he certainly doesn't want to hurt himself.
Right.
right side of them, especially on the right side, they can't see you.
Can't see you.
And if they go to change lanes, sometimes it's too late. Don't tailgate. If you're tailgating and a tire blows, it can cause you to have an accident.
Right.
And if the truck's trying to pass you, just drive consistent. Don't try to help it.
Just let them go on.
Yeah, just maintain your speed, and they will get around you.
Okay.
We get back off up here.
You're still going like 45 miles per hour right now. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
See, it doesn't seem like
It
you're
doesn't
driving
even
fast.
seem like that.
I mean, you're riding in a house. No comment from the peanut gallery back here. You know how long it's been since I drove a truck? I drove this one St. Patrick's Day. So in the parade, and I was driving 2 miles an hour
2 miles per hour.
with my grandson sitting in my lap.
So how long has it been since you've actually stopped driving? Because you said you drove for many years and you've been in the trucking industry for many years.
I've been off the road about 25 years.
25.
Yeah, I'm getting older.
And so much has changed throughout those 25 years. We're talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
different laws.
I can scrub it with the best of them. Kind of like riding a bicycle, though. It'll come back to you.
Look at this car now.
I got to wait on him. Okay. Come on, I'm waiting.
They're afraid.
I'm afraid. I don't want to hit him.
So when you're driving these trucks, what do you do for entertainment?
Radio, CB. I'd never stayed on CB much. There's so much garbage on there.
Does this truck have a CB radio?
No, we don't put them in.
But most trucks.
Most drivers have their own. Yeah, I mean, you listen to the radio, you know every song by heart.
This just, to me, can be so monotonous to where it's like you're on the road, you're just driving.
It can be.
It's just, for someone like me, this would probably not be the best profession.
I say, sometimes it's like hours and hours of boredom broken up by a few seconds of sheer terror. Okay, there is no park on a truck, so when you stop, you have to lock your brakes. If you don't, it'll roll away. Okay, your turn.
All right.
We're going to go back on the interstate.
No, we're not. We're just going to drive up that way.
I ain't getting it.
Don't be afraid. All right, you talk me through it.
You talking through it.
First thing you want to do is get your seat set correctly.
Yes.
Okay, that's the clutch on your left there.
All right.
Okay, here's your shift pattern right here. See? All right, you feel right here?
Hold on, let me try it. Uh-huh.
See, reverse is all the way over and forward, but you feel that spring?
Uh-huh.
All right, just pull it till it gets spring and relax. Just relax.
Uh-huh.
Let it stand up straight. And push it straight forward first gear.
I need to put my
Put your
hold on.
clutch down.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Okay, now push your buttons in.
Was that reversed?
No,
Put it in reverse.
put it in reverse. Yeah, now push it straight forward. All right, now push your brakes in.
Okay.
Kind of like
Alright.
flying a helicopter. You need all your fingers and toes.
Is it in?
Now push them both in.
Oh, both?
The yellow's the truck, the red's the trailer.
Okay, they're both in.
Yeah, just all right, take foot off the brake.
Wait, oh my God.
All right, ease up on the clutch.
Ease up on it.
You don't have to give it any fuel.
I don't have to give it in. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I hope you're getting this.
Push the clutch down and pull your gear lever straight back.
Okay. Is that all the way
Yeah,
back?
now come on the clutch.
Whoa.
She shifts better than I do, don't
Thank you very much.
All right, that's good. You're about to run out of room.
I'm about to run out. Okay.
All right, push your clutch down.
All right.
Easy on your brake. Don't hit
Okay.
hard.
That was awesome. If I can drive an 18-wheeler, you guys can drive one too. Come on down to Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Men, women, come on down here. They got some great instructors, and you're going to learn a lot. Thank you all so much for watching us, and please keep watching.